So today is August 22nd, and on this day in Cold War history, we're going to expand a little bit further and talk about the birth of a famous figure. We're going to talk about how Japan was annexed by Korea, and we'll wrap up the coup with Gorbachev. So we'll start with this. 1904, the birth of Deng Xiaoping. Deng Xiaoping's a really interesting character. He was the head of China for a number of years after Mao, and Mao brought in communism and kind of a cult-like devotion to Mao and merged those two together. Deng Xiaoping actually said, you know, this whole communist thing that we've been doing, making money is better. And then since then, what's been happening, like President Xi is trying to hold on to the making money side as well as the authoritarian side, but it's not necessarily as communist doctrine as much as having control over the population, and those two things are merged together, and they really can't hold sufficiently. Okay, 1910, Japan annexed Korea on 22 August 1910. Japan controlled Korea until the end of the Second World War, and it was during the Second World War that North and South Korea were divided, and the Soviets were to be in charge of trying to take over North Korea from Japan, and Western powers like the United States were going to deal with South Korea, and the North-South divide is a consequence of that. In 1973, Henry Kissinger was named U.S. Secretary of State, and he was instrumental in opening China back up to the West. 1991, the coup on Gorbachev. It has been happening now, if you go back in the previous videos, for the last 4 days. The coup on Gorbachev happened in 1991. On this last day, the State Emergency Committee was sent back on a different plane. Gorbachev flies to Moscow. The State Emergency Committee conspirators are flying back to Moscow. As soon as they land, the conspirators are immediately arrested. Gorbachev is filmed getting off the plane live, so the people are kind of reassured by that. By 6 a.m., Vice President Yaniev, he's the guy that signed the paperwork to put all this in motion, he's arrested. And then Boris Pugo, he's the Minister of the Interior. He is one of the conspirators, another hardliner. He commits suicide. The coup is over. But it was for about 4 or 5 days there. It was a real question what would happen in the Soviet Union. And then at the same time, Latvia and Estonia seized on this time to declare their independence when Russia, well, the Soviets, were as weak as they were, and then it wouldn't be very long before the Soviet Union will break up. In 2012, Russia became a member of the World Trade Organization. Again, at this time, we were still hoping Russia was going to play nice in the economic sandbox with the rest of the world, but no such luck. We should have known that because of 2004 and 2008, but it was still 2 years before 2014 and the Maidan Revolution and the invasion of Donbass by Russia. All right, that's all that I have. Thank you for your time, and thank you for being the kind of person who cares about the world that we live in.